Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Tuesday, August 10th. I hope your week is off to a great start. Back to school today. Hey, kiddos, have a great first day of school as we start back. Hard to believe summer's over. Time to go back to school and learn. Hey, with that, it's never too late to learn about volatility in your portfolio. And how do we measure that? We measure that by the amount of risk you have. To determine the amount of risk you have, give us a call at 863-382-0037 for our financial x-ray. Hey, with that, we're looking forward to Dave here in just a second and talking about what's happening in the marketplace today.
FM, just there. No, it's Justin Timberlake. Got too many Justins in the world to keep track of. Moms, come up with another name for your kids, would you? It's 8:39. 21 before 9. Let's check in on what's happening to your IRA and 401k. His name is not Justin. His name is Phillip, and he is Statler Financial Services. Phillip, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Dave. Doing well today. It's Tuesday, and kiddos going back to school today, so that means I'm coming from you from the house. I wanted that traffic to get out of the way before I head to the office this morning.
I don't blame you in the least. I'll just throw in the PSA I was mentioning earlier this morning while I was directing traffic with one of Highlands County's finest a few years ago. I was yammering with him, and I said, hey, is it really true you guys give us 10 miles over the speed limit? And he said, well, we'll never say it formally, but yeah, we give you a little bit of extra room. But one thing for sure, he said, I catch you going 1 mile an hour over a school zone speed limit, your butt is mine. So people, slow down and be careful, would you?
That's right. That's right.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, the kids are out, and frankly, first day of school, they aren't watching where they're going to. So reason for extra care and caution as they get started into their new school year habits. Setting the table for yesterday, it was an off day, but it wasn't as bad as we were afraid it was going to be. The Dow was down 101. Standard & Poor's was down by a little over 4, and NASDAQ, even with some increases in the yield on the federal bond rate, still managed to eke out a 24-point gain. Maybe not a new record, but in the context of where the indexes are, that was almost a boring day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, pretty much you call it flat. I mean, give a little, take a little, but nothing drastic, nothing concerning on the way things ended up. Kind of just a normal, like you say, just kind of a normal do nothing day.
I kind of get the feeling that we're kind of in a holding pattern waiting for that inflation number to come out. I think that's tomorrow, right?
Let's see what we have coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right? So Wednesday we have the CPI coming out. I think that's going to be telling, as well as the PPI coming out on Thursday.
Yeah, I kind of got the feeling this is an inflation week, and everybody's kind of holding their cards close to the vest. We did get some employment news that was kind of interesting yesterday, although when I compare it up against productivity this morning, it doesn't mean quite as much. We have a lot of job openings out there if you're looking, don't we?
We really do. I mean, they expected 9.1 million job openings. There's 10.1. Folks, if you don't have a job, there's a job out there for you. You just got to go get it. It's crazy. The number of job openings that are out there continues to increase. I mean, I got a friend of mine in New Jersey trying to hire like 4 or 5 different positions, and just struggling to find people to apply.
Yeah, and it's a challenge. And the problem, I think the challenge becomes, much as anything, the openings that are hanging out there are the ones on the entry-level position. I mean, restaurants are restricting their hours a little bit more, closing early on Sunday for one of my friends just because staffing issues get in the way. But the entry-level jobs are the ones that are going begging right now, and I don't know whether that matches up with the people that say they're looking or not, but there's a boatload of jobs out there. They just might not be the primo ones.
Well, that's true, but I got to tell you, Dave, in that 10.1, there are some primo jobs out there for the right person, but you got to be applying, you got to be looking.
Absolutely. We've got one here in our sales department. Our sales manager's been looking to fill out a gap in our sales department for a while, and money ain't all that bad, people. Call Peter and tell him you're looking. We ended up with the job openings yesterday, and I mentioned up against the productivity. It really kind of takes a little bit of a bloom off the rose. We got the National Productivity Report out this morning. We were expecting a 3.5% increase in productivity last quarter. We only got 2.3% more work out of our employees per hour paid. And, well, we're not hiring any more people, but the people we got ain't working a whole lot harder either, I gather.
At least that's what the number says. And then to add, kind of some insult to injury, they revised the last quarter number 2 from 5.4 down to 4.3. So that's not helping either.
Maybe we're just burning the ones we've got out. What do you think?
It could be. And then the other thing, I know you couldn't find it, but it just popped up on my screen. The unit labor cost increased by 1%. So we're getting less productivity and it's costing us more.
All right. Well, we're glad to see the unit labor costs go up a little bit as our wages begin to recover and improve. But when it's not matched up with the productivity increase, that's not good for the stocks we trade.
No, it's not. So we continue to watch those numbers. And like you said, tomorrow will be a big day.
Absolutely. Speaking of big days, I know yesterday was a boatload of reports that were out yesterday, and the problem was because it was Monday, nobody had anything out to speak of before the market opened. Have you seen anything of interest on the quarterly reports we're getting out of the firms?
We got a handful of names that people will recognize going forward this morning. So let's start with one of your favorite meme stocks, right? AMC Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they reported. They lost 71 cents a share, but that was good news for them because that was 20 cents better than expected. So revenue also came in ahead of forecast as we look at kind of what's happening there with COVID restrictions being lifted and people are starting to go back to the movie theaters. Good news for them. Their stock's actually surging almost 10% this morning.
Cool. Yeah, people are going back to the movies. I'm starting to follow the box office numbers again now that the theaters are open again. And we're at least getting credible box office every week. There hasn't been one of those $100 million blockbusters yet, but they're raking in $26, $25 million on opening weekends. And that's at the very least credible for a business as usual theater season. We just aren't getting the blockbusters.
Oh, exactly. So then we've got I think we had Sleep Number Bed last week. We got Casper Sleep today, and their mattress company, bedding company, and they lost money for the quarter, which is, I guess people have got what they need now. So revenue though did come in slightly above expectations. They initially had a little bump in their stock price, but then it seemed to trail off significantly, down 5.3% this morning, Dave. And it's a cheap stock. It's like $6.55 right now.
All right. We were kind of flippantly saying when Sleep Number missed that everybody bought a new bed during COVID when they were living at home, and now they're living on what they got. So we might have a soft mattress market for a little while.
That's right. It very well could be. They use some of their stimulus money for that.
Could be.
This interesting. We got 3D Systems. They're a 3D printing system. They earned 12 cents a share this last quarter. That was 5 cents better than expectations. The technology beat in revenue as well. They think they've come through the most challenging 12 months very successfully. And that their stock is really soaring this morning, up over 11.5% today.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was a really hot product a couple of years ago when they first started introducing 3D printers, and I hadn't heard a lot about them lately. Evidently, they are selling, aren't they?
They are. We're starting to see. I mean, we're still seeing some stuff out there. I can't remember. I saw an article about somebody. I think the first house they were building, some little tiny house, they were using the 3D system to do that. So, wow. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting some of the stuff they're using it for.
Oh, yeah.
So then we had Planet Fitness reported, another name we know here in town.
Are we going back to the gyms yet?
We are, but we missed earnings by 2 cents a share, came in at 21 cents. Revenue, though, did top expectations as memberships increase and people are going back to hitting the fitness centers again. But stock's down 1 3/4% this morning. I'm sorry, that's yesterday's close. It hasn't had a trade yet this morning. So it closed down yesterday 1.75% to 74.26.
Okay. But just a small miss, I guess, in the gym industry is good news because that's one of the places that really scared the pants out of people during the worst of the outbreak.
Yeah, it really did. It did. Hey, the last one I have for you is Chegg. And that may not be a familiar name to a lot of people, but that is a online educational platform. That's what they do. A lot of homeschoolers use it. A lot of school systems were using it during COVID. And so a known company within the educational system, they did beat by 6 cents. The share came in at 43 cents. Revenue top forecast as well. And then they raised their full year guidance. So that's good news for them. They're really branching out and developing some international growth when it comes to the educational platform. So they're trading up right now 3.2%.
Cool. I got to believe that's going to be a growth industry for at the very least this next school year with all the mask controversies and the vaccine controversies between public schools and the colleges this year.
I think so. I think that it will continue to be a growth industry going forward.
I got to assume you're right on that. Again, kind of a mixed bag yesterday. Pretty much on balance, called the markets flat yesterday, even though they had a red tinge to them. 45 minutes before we open this morning, Philip, what are we looking at?
So we've got, everything's coming mostly green now, barely, but except for the Dow. The Dow's down $16, which is obviously less than 0.1%. The S&P 500 right now is up $1, basically flat. The NASDAQ's up 21. So everything's kind of flat right now as we head into the open. The commodity side of the coin, we do see silver basically flat, still at the 23.20 range, and gold up slightly over 0.1%. Crude oil is heading back up though, Dave, up 1.1% to $67.22 a barrel right now.
I kind of figured that 65 had to be a fluke downward for reasons we couldn't explain. There wasn't really a reason for it to fall like a rock all weekend, was there?
No, not that I've seen.
Okay. Maybe they just all got bored and started investing in corn futures or something. Overseas markets, Asian rim markets were pretty much solidly up overnight when they closed at 6 this morning. European markets are a mixed bag, just frittering around the zero mark with no trend whatsoever in Europe this time of the day. Phillip, getting some help stabilizing and predicting what my retirement is like is probably the most important thing I can do. How do I find you to get a picture of how to make sure I can retire profitably?
Devin, give us a call at 863-382-0037 for a financial x-ray to help determine how much risk they have in their current portfolio and make sure it lines up with what they're comfortable with. Hey, check out our website, statlerfinancial.com. Join us on Facebook. All you have to do is look under Statler Financial Services and like our page and follow us there. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730.
And, of course, back here again tomorrow morning, same time on Light FM. Phillip, thank you so much. You have a good day, okay?
All right, man, you do.
Thank you much. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Phillip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Remember, we're here as a resource if there's anything we can help you with when it comes to your retirement planning, 401ks, IRAs, any of those type of things. Please don't hesitate. Give us a call. Check out our website, statlerfinancial.com. Join us again tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.